Alright, Alico 3 here, and we have a Mailbin for you today. Probably Hall of Fame players and vintage baseball for the binder. So let's take a look. Here's a private stock 2001 Vic. So we're starting off with the Vic, getting it out of the way, I guess. Although there probably will be more in this one. So this is out of 200. Not sure the different tiers of parallels from this set, but this is a nice one. This was $350 shipped, and we got an 07 Topps. This is a card that I actually posted on my Instagram account, and I just kind of said I had never seen a PSA 10 of this card for sale, and I honestly haven't. So I think there's like 9 in existence because they're just always shipped up with the black borders. This one looks pretty good. This top left corner has got some white showing. So it's not a 10, but it's centered pretty well. It says a chance. Oh, that bottom right corner is messed up too. This is an 8, so I'm not going to send it in. It's just tough to find a gem mint copy of that card. You probably would almost need to just pull it straight from a hobby box. I don't know how much a hobby box is that 07 Topps is. Either probably like $50. Here's an LT Pacific. Now this is one of his on-card auto rookies. It's not as highly sought after as some other sets. Might be because it's Pacific. It might be because the numbering's so high. 1500 is pretty high even for this time period. Most of the sets were lower than 1500 at this point. So this is also very condition sensitive. So you get these for like 25 to 35 bucks. I think that's a steal. This card's in like every single order. There's at least one of these, and these sell for, I mean, counting shipping, these always go for like, it's always like $350 to $750, I'd say. And 10s sell for about $40. So, but it's really tough to get a 10 in this set. But it has happened. I have purchased them raw, and it has happened. Probably like 1 in 15 or something. Come out gem. Nice big package for this one. Okay, this was cheap. But he's a tailback whose career is winding down, and he actually asked the Broncos to release him last week. They didn't, but he didn't get any carries, so they didn't want him to reach an incentive like 500 total yards. They had to pay him an extra $1 million or something like that. So he didn't play really the last 3 games. It's a Charles. It's like the gold version to 99. So it's got a nice patch in there. It was only $10, so I think I need to start up a Jamal Charles binder. Maybe just 2008 rookie cards in that one. There's another Charles. So this card is about a $15 to $20 card, and it never really got that high, even when he was tearing up the league. I think at its best it was like a $40 or $50 card, but it's still neat. It's got a high print run. That's probably why. It's $9.99. I think maybe if it was like $2.99 or $3.99, it would have had more value. But this one's got a nice patch. It's always been a nice looking card. I'm a huge fan of the old SP Authentic cards. So a bunch of football in this one so far, and I've had people comment in my videos about collecting basketball and give me some tips. So I'm going to try to use those. I know I always talk about becoming a better basketball collector, and maybe this year I will start to actually pick up the pace on that. Here's a Portis. This was like, I don't know, it was like $350 or plus shipping, but it's cool. It's the finest on card. Don't know if this is why the logo's not on there, if they didn't have the license, but well, it says Hurricane, so I don't know. So this is a high print too, out of 1200. So This is one of the toughest sets ever. 1998 SPX football. Definitely the toughest set from 1998. So this is a Fred Taylor, and this is in the Beckett. If you guys ever look at that, or I don't know, a lot of people don't really use that anymore. I don't buy them anymore, but I know they used to list this as like the true rookie card. So it's out of 1998. It's a slick looking card, but you honestly, if you send these in, you're looking at 7s and 6s all day long. So, but they're still cool, even if you don't have them slabbed. Throw them in a binder, or just collect them. So that's the Fred Taylor. This is PWCC. You can just tell by this fancy mailer. I remember what I bought from him. Okay, so this card went cheap. Moss, all the Moss stuff has been going up over the last year, and this one was a PSA 8, but I think I got it for like 175, and Raws have been going close to 275, so I figured this was a great buy. And most of the time I won't bid on too much of PWCC stuff, and I've harped on it in the past about he just does such a good job getting advertising and getting his auctions out there, and most people know about them, so they just sell so high. But this Future Watch just happened. I put in a bid, and it just happened to not go high, so I'll take it all day long. And 8 probably slab within the last few months too, with that new holder. And then this was in Pacific Aurora Brady. This card's, I think it's around like 90 to 110 right now. Don't think it's the toughest set because of the white borders, but I have to check the pop report on this and just kind of see how many have been sent in. I'm sure a lot of these have been sent in, because this isn't like the most sought after or scarcest Tom Brady rookie out there, but it's still cool. PSA 10 for a reasonable price. So those are the 2 PWCC cards. I actually buy a lot more from Probstein. This stuff gets shelved a lot lower. Doesn't really do a great job shipping or with his listings, in my opinion. I'm not trying to dog on the guy. I'm just an opinion. I think his listings are pretty bland compared to how nice PWCC does with the templates and stuff. Here's a Vic. So it's in one of these old screw-down holders, and something I've noticed about these, I've said it many times in videos, they just don't preserve the card too well. I don't know if they just get too tight in here, but if you ever pull one of these out of here, I don't think I've ever found a Gemet card in one of these. They're just always pushed in on the side, or these cases just aren't very kind to the cards when you take them out. So, but this is a slick debut, Topps debut Vic 01 to $4.99. That's on card. It's all football right now. I thought we'd have some vintage baseball coming in. I don't know. Here's a Jeter, and I'm over 400 cards for my PSA 500 card bulk order, number 3 that I am prepping right now. This one's off center. See how the left's about 65-35, and then top to bottom it looks pretty good. So if the rest of the card was like almost perfect, I'd probably send it in and hope for an 8.5 or 9. But if not, it'll just be a not a candidate. This is cool. So something to note about this card is you can actually buy a PSA 8 of this card for about the same price as buying it raw, depending on the auction, which I think is a pretty good deal if you just want a PSA 8 card, which you don't have to worry about major flaws and getting like a PSA 6, because a lot of these are PSA 6s. You see how the top of the diamond's ripped? I've seen PSA 10s that actually look like that. Just by looking at in the case, I haven't even taken it out. It's all dinged up on this edge, and I'm sure there's other problems. It's off center a little bit, so this is probably like a 6 or 7. So if you guys want a card that's more proven for about the same amount of money as a raw, just pick up a PSA 8 of that Griffey Star Rookie. You won't be too upset. I think the main reason why a raw would sell for that is just kind of the expectation. You know, there's always like the thought maybe, oh, I might be buying a PSA 10 or a PSA 9, and that's part of the fun in buying raw cards. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get a 10 or a 9. I mean, you're just going to have a card that's, you know, a 6 to an 8. So Here's a Peterson SPX. This has actually always been one of my favorite sets. Then, at the very end of this video, I'm going to do a Christmas raffle. I'm just going to ask a couple questions, and first 2 people to comment in the comment section with the correct answers will win. Just we'll do first is 50, seconds 25, and it'll just be PayPal gifts. So if you stick around to the end of the video, you'll have a chance. You got to be a subscriber to be qualified for the contest. So this is a Peterson 07 SPX. I always preferred buying the ones that had 2 different colors, and that's just me. But these have dropped down just a little bit. His hobby is pretty stable for the most part, because everybody knows he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Don't know how much longer he'll play. He showed some flashes this year, but he didn't really ever quite break a long run. I think his long was like 27. So we'll see what the future holds for him going forward. Don't know if he'll be back with the Cardinals. They might just keep him as a backup to David Johnson, which wouldn't be the worst idea. Give him, 7 to 9 carries a game. Here's a Breeze. This is Upper Deck Vintage. So this set's not tough at all. The case is actually kind of cracked right there, though, which is a little upsetting, but I'm not going to cry about that too much. You can actually send these in, and they will reholder it for $7 plus shipping. So if you have a car that you really like and you want it in like the newest Lighthouse holder, you can get that worked out with them. So this is a PSA 10 of the Upper Deck Vintage. This was a very low end set. I think it was more low end than tops. I used to break some of these packs back in the day, and this card's worth about 30. I want to say 30 to 35 bucks for that Breeze. So I don't know if I have a 10 of it though, so I'll add that into the registry. Here's a plain white, and I actually would ship like this if I didn't have to worry about being top rated and proving tracking on each order that I sell, because you can ship a card out for 50 cents as opposed to like $3. It's just a great way to ship low-end cards. So maybe one day I'll do that when I'm not so fixated on top rated. This is in like one of those Ultra Pro with the black backgrounds on it. Topps 98 Moss. It's a great card. It is superimposed though. I guess I'll just go through this whole bin if the battery holds up. It's holding up better today than it has in the past, but I said for the new year I need to get a new either camera or battery. I think a battery makes more sense because I actually like this camera. It's just like a basic family camera, but it's held up. I've had it for a while now. I think 4.5 years. I used to always film on the iPad, but the volume's so crappy when I go back and watch some of the older videos. It's just so hard to hear me. You can actually hear what I'm saying on these, so I think that adds some value to the channel. So a bunch of bass. I don't know. I'll just throw those to the side. This was a throw-in too. Couple. That's just one. It's thick. It's a Breeze Topps Draft Picks and Prospects from 04. And then we got the Breeze Topps PSA 9. This actually went in the auction for about 20 bucks, which is a great deal. These go raw for about 10 to 15. So, and knowing that it's not the easiest set, to pick up a 9 for that price just seems fair to me. So I always pounce on opportunities like that. Okay, this is a problem. So this was $250 shipped, and this was the exact same card. So I'm still buying these raw just to try to get 110. This one's shipped, so the search continues. But you guys saw it was out of the case. It's just slop, and I've talked about this in so many videos, but it's never gonna change. So. Not being negative, just trying to be realistic here. It's not an expensive card. It's more of the principle. This one's going to be hard to get into. Jesus. Man, I might just not open this one right now. This is a pain in the ass. It'd probably be like a $5 card too. Sorry guys, I'm not trying to bore you. This is just really tough to get into. I think it's just one card too. Okay, and we're in. My God, it's a Peyton Manning Bowman 98 PSA 10. Black borders, check for dents on the back, and you should be good on this set. Although it isn't the easiest set, it's not the hardest. This card's about 35 to 45 if you're looking to pick one up. That's kind of the eBay value that I've noticed on it. That's what I picked up my last two for. I bet the pop on that's around 50%. This is cool. So we got our third Charles of the video. This is actually the parallel version. The base doesn't have this silver shine, and it's out of $199 as opposed to this one, which is out of $75. So this is a very tough set. I think I own the only Pop 1 PSA 10 exquisite base of this Charles card. But the back, see, it's like mango. It looks like a tiger bit that corner right there. So this is like a 6. So I'll just probably put it in a fresh one touch and call it a day. I don't have this card, so it's a neat card. So cool Charles card. That was when he had 29. He wore that in the preseason a little bit and at the rookie shoot. Here's a Vic. So SGC, who I'm very tempted to do an SGC order, maybe on some cards that I already have in my PSA registry, just to see, you know, how it goes. This is the college greats preview. It'd be nice. So there's a site that's called Baseball Card Encyclopedia, and it's pretty amazing. It just states odds and some background information on sets and when they came out. I wish they had a football one too, just to kind of see the stated odds on the autos. These autos, because I think they're pretty tough pulls. They're just not numbered though. So you'd have to figure there's probably 500 or less of this card. So it's an 8 or an 88. I don't know. I just kind of like using the 8. Makes it a little easier for me. Here's a Rogers. This is just a parallel longevity to $5.99. So probably very susceptible to scratch surfaces on this type of design with that foil the way it is. This is probably one of those flat rate boxes. This is a great way to ship cards for not too bad of a price for higher end stuff. You know, 500 or higher. If you saw something of that value, you just get great protection in this little cardboard box, and it's a great way to ship. So. What are those PetSmart bags? Very good shipper. Gotta give credit out. Push. This is cool. So this was a slideshow. I had checked Terapeak to see, you know, kind of what was the market value on this Peterson Rookies and Stars slideshow. And it was kind of like a $130 to $150 card, and he had it for $120s, and I didn't have it, so I figured I'd just hit the buy it now on it. It's 16 of 30, so it's got a little print. It's just a neat looking card in my opinion. It's got the auto right there, so it looks pretty sharp too. I'll have to see if it's scratched up, but that's a cool Peterson. I think I bought that around Christmas time. This has been pretty much all football. Metal Universe Moss. Probably about $1.50 shipped. Just throwing out lines looking for PSA 10s. Here's a Pacific Brady. These go for about $40 raw. This one looks pretty good. This set's really tough in my opinion. Looks like I could have a chance at an 8, which isn't bad at all for this. So Pacific Brady 2000. This was just an auction. I think we had these listed at like $6.99 as the first bid. And I just hit the bid on them. So we got the upper deck Star Rookie. We got the Topps Chrome and a black diamond. So 3 Mosses in an auction. This might be a lot. Yeah, Frank Thomas lot. This was a throw-in. Cool little Jeter gold label. So 5 Thomases. I think they were like maybe like $1.99 plus shipping. So Topps 1990. Neat looking card in the Auburn uniform. We have a LeBron James gold. This is the Bowman gold. Very, very sensitive set here. Yeah, it's creased right there. You see that crease in the corner? See if I can get it to focus. I don't think it's going to show it. But it is kind of, this whole edge is like jagged, like it's been just ripped apart a little bit. So this one definitely won't be going off. I don't have this one slabbed. I'd like to get an 8 in it or an 8.5. And then see that white right there too. So this is like a 6 maybe. So I'll probably just have to put this in the store and note the some of the defects with it, so somebody doesn't buy it and then just send it right back. So that's a pain. But it's easiest just to accurately describe items. It saves yourself a lot of trouble in the future. And then this last one is shipped in a plain white envelope. Look at the mound of trash right there. Get that picked up. But we will do this card and then we will do the raffle. Definitely not a tough set. It's all white borders. So Upper Deck Victory Breeze 01. Still a great looking card. That's just a cool looking photo. So that's it, guys. That's it for the Mailbin portion. And the 2 questions I'm going to ask, and I've kind of ranted and raved, and I don't know if I've outright said it. I think I actually gave away one of the answers in this video, but in the past I've talked about this set so many times. So if you watch the videos, you'll probably get these both very fast. So the 2 questions are, in my opinion, what is the toughest football set to grade from 1998? And then 2, toughest football set to grade from 2004. So if you watch the videos, these will be pretty easy. If not, give it your best guess. First 2 people to answer it correctly will get the money. Send me an email to my Park email or through YouTube with a PayPal ID, and I'll get you taken care of. So 50 and 25. And thanks for watching. That's the Christmas raffle.